this is Chestnut. I am here with Green Ghost today at Millennium City, their plot, and I'm excited because this is a superhero lair plot, and I'm excited to see everything that's on it.
Hey everybody. Alright, in order to get into Millennium City, I have to sneak you in first because it's locked down, so we're gonna have to go through the sewers.
Is that an alligator in the sewer?
Yeah, it is an alligator. It's a couple of alligators, and I don't know if you missed it, but on the way in there was a sign that warned people about it.
I did miss that, but I'm sure it's in the video.
Alright, watch your step, and there you go. And you are now into Millennium City. The idea for the city came about when I was playing PvP. I was actually playing the Moody Mask game, and somebody, I don't remember who it was, in chat called me their hero because I was a stalker tank and I just kept stealing the Moody Mask since the Moody Mask. So that's how Millennium City came about. I decided to make a superhero in the WildStar universe, and I just didn't want to make any superhero. I wanted to make like a Norse style superhero. So when you first come out, you see the main city, complete with a watchtower if you turn your back and look up.
Oh, cool.
And I wanted to make the city feel alive. Even if you look up, there will still be something for you to see and to enjoy.
Yeah, it looks like apartment buildings and like it's an actual like city street and...
One of the hardest things to do was to hide the god-awful, ugly bank. So I wanted to make it look like a real bank. You know, you come in, there's tellers, there's seats, and then there's security, of course.
Wow, this is pretty cool.
If you go downstairs, of course, you'll get the vault, where it's completely accessible and people can come down here and use the bank like you normally would any bank plugin.
That's really cool. I never would have thought to build a bank over the bank.
Yeah, I've seen it done a couple of different ways. I've seen people actually not really hide it, but I wanted to make it functional but hide it because I didn't agree with the look for the style of the city. This right here was originally just a sports bar, but I decided to make it like a book bar, something that I've never seen, and I would love to see it in actual real life where there's books on the shelf and you can sit down and have a drink and read probably a book that you never read.
I would love a concept. If anyone made a book bar in real life, I would be there every single day.
I would too, believe it or not. One of the special things about this book bar, the reason why I like it so much is that if you look out the window, you get like a nice overview of another street. And to me, when I'm building a plot, I love views. I love to just be able to look around and see how this item or this building looks from one angle, and I try to make it look good in every single angle. I think maybe what is, you know, the player running by, how are they going to see it? The player that likes to parkour and jump all over on top of the city, how are they going to view it? And this was one of the views that I wanted to craft. Of course, you need public transportation, so this is a bus stop. I don't actually have a bus in the city, but it gives the illusion that I do.
Yeah.
These are a couple of vehicles that I made at a gas station. You have right here a Dominion style motorcycle. As you can see, I use speaker bots a lot for NPCs. It makes it so that the city, even though it looks kind of oldish, it gives it like, it sort of contradicts itself because it's Norse style and then it has robots.
Yeah.
This right here, I made this while I was actually looking at somebody play Mario Kart, and I wanted to get like a really cool motorcycle, that not motorcycle, but a really cool vehicle that just looked crazy. So I used that Drake fireplace, the one with the green tongue.
Oh.
So it gives it a nice little glow, and it looks like a crazy cycle, like somebody, you don't want to mess with whoever parked this here.
Yeah.
if we go down the street a little bit with the red lanterns, and I always tell people, this is an important house because, as you can tell by the orange gates, this is my house. This is House of the Green Ghosts. So I like open concepts. So when you first come in, you have the kitchen, the living room, and the dining room all together. It's separated by spacing, of course. These are my custom book couches.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice they were books until you said something.
They give a nice, it looks like they're leather couches.
Yeah.
You just look at them, and they're made entirely out of books.
I have not seen that before.
I love to use it. I think I first used it on the first iteration of the city, back when we had the 300 item limit. Coming upstairs, you get a nice little hallway, completely with a messy desk, and that's what my desk would probably look in real life if I had one. In here, nothing too special. You have the standard bedroom with Orin lamp in the corner, and I really tried to focus in on the lighting. That's why the city has a hazy light, and then I have street lights and little lamps all over the place to give it that perfect scene and perfect mood.
Yeah, it's very Gotham City lighting.
That's exactly what I was going for. And if you look out this window, you get lovely views of the city from all over. You can see the clock tower if you look up. There's a couple of blimps in the air. All the way in the distance, you can see the park with the statue.
I love the Ferris wheel, too.
Oh, yeah, I had to add that. That wasn't in my first iteration of the city when I had the item limits. I actually had a hobo train there, but I like the Ferris wheel a lot better. Now, as you can tell by the costume and the name, the Green Ghost, of course I have to have secrets. And I have the classic bookcase entrance that goes down into the ghost lair.
Oh, wow.
So I have one of my old costumes. Before I got my coat, I was wearing this, and then I wound up getting the coat with the little ghost symbols on it. So I put the old costume on there.
Sort of like a backup costume for when this one gets ripped.
Absolutely, I can always pull it off the shelves and use it. Of course, I have my supercomputer, and when there is danger in the city, it goes red. This cave has everything from, stethoscopes and lab equipment, medicine, anything that I would need if I ever get injured while I'm out patrolling the city. And of course, every ghost lair cave would not be complete without an automobile.
I don't think I've seen another superhero automobile built before.
I've seen one other one. Somebody modeled actually the Tumbler from the Batman movies. This one, of course, is inspired from the 80s and 90s cartoon. I think it was the 90s cartoon, Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
And that's where I got this from. And believe it or not, this is actually almost entirely made out of Adventure Awaits posters.
Wow.
I love the versatility of them. They give you a nice little matte black finish, and you can do just about anything you want with them. And I'll show you a little bit later. I used them for a couple of other things.
Oh, cool.
You're on the tour, so you didn't pass it. I can't tell you how many people actually missed the superhero lair because of this TV screen.
Not many people know the trick that some of the screens are actually like you can walk through them, so they just assume that you can't do anything with it.
Yep, they actually just think that it's just, part of the city life, big screens, big flashy lights everywhere. But little do they know that it holds the superhero lair. No city would be complete without a newsstand. So I have this little newsstand, and of course, like I said, I love to use the speaker box.
They work. They make the cities feel more populated.
Yeah, and I wanted to give the city a lot of life, and that's why I have all the lights and the trees, and even this right here. The city wouldn't be complete without somebody spilling garbage all over the place.
So So you mentioned that this isn't your first iteration of it. What kind of changes has the plot gone through since, like, you first made it to now?
I was able to actually use almost the entire plot before, but where we're standing currently was just a garbage spot, and to save a bunch of items, I had big fences, a couple of containers, and the hobo train. And I was able to add a lot more detail to the city. I had nothing but fake buildings up before, but now, as you can see, I had a couple of enterable buildings. I had some vehicles, and the street has gotten a lot larger. And the city before was just made flat. It was just flat. It wasn't different layers. I didn't have a hill, and I didn't go up a little bit more. And also, the original city, you came out of the clock tower. There was no sewer. Over here, this is actually what I consider would be probably the police force of the city, complete with a jail cell.
That's awesome.
But as you'll see later, I'll show you later, this symbol, keep this in mind because it has a deeper meaning. If you look at the Marauder symbol that's right here on the bottom of the ship. And for anybody that doesn't know, because I get this question a lot, this is the spaceship fab kit.
There's a spaceship fab kit? I didn't even know that.
Yep, that's what this is called. It's called the spaceship fab kit. It comes with the spaceship that we just seen, and it comes with the blimp that's up in the air.
Oh.
Somebody's doing their laundry. So to add more personality, I also use carrots. I like the idea of carrot people. It's just a silly idea, especially when you mix them with orange. And so we have a couple of carrots here working with their vending machines and then, supplying food to people that are passing by or waiting for mass transit. Now, one of the things I wanted to create to give it more of a North-style feeling was trams. And every time I tried to place them on the ground, it did not come out looking good. So I made a monorail tram system.
That's really cool.
And if you look up, you can see that the rail actually goes around the city. So you can look up at different parts of the city and you can see that there's a rail hanging over your head.
I wondered about that earlier.
I just really wanted to give it a sense of, public transportation, because that's big in the city. So I'm actually from Brooklyn, and I actually live in Brooklyn, so I know all about city transportation.
Yeah, there's a lot of it there.
And I wanted to give the city a bit more personality. I didn't want everything to, to be grand and mighty. So over here, if you look, you have, some of the less unfortunate. This carrot person, unfortunately, is on the streets. He has a nice bed, though.
He does have a very nice bed. That is one lucky carrot person. It's sad that he's on the street.
Yeah, he'll pick up. He'll make it back on his feet. Now, I needed to add trees to the city. I got criticized a bit that it wasn't too orangey enough. But I thought that, adding these little planters with the trees is part of what city life is about. You go a couple of blocks and then you have this little tree standing out of cement.
It works. I mean, that's how it's like in the city.
Oh, yeah. Now, every city needs a park, and this is my park here. When you first step into it, you notice all the green lush, the places to sit, and I even have the lighting here.
It's a really pretty park. I love the gazebo right here.
Thank you, I like it. I wanted it to be able to accent the view of the pond. So you can sit down, have a lovely lunch, and view the pond.
The water fab kits are some of my favorites.
Oh, definitely. I like just about every single one of them. It's too bad they don't have a water decor item.
Yeah.
Now this is actually a thicket, but just by placing two seats down, I made it look like a little camping area.
Yeah, it's like a camping area as a part of the park.
One of the hardest things about this park was trying to get it look good from every view of the Ferris wheel. So I can't tell you how many hundreds of times I actually rolled the Ferris wheel just to make sure that if I looked right or if I looked left or if I looked up or if I looked down, the city would just look spectacular. You can see billboards and signs and you can see the railing and all types of stuff in the air.
It's amazing what people can accomplish without, like, you know, a free form, I can fly around my plot and figure out what I'm doing sort of thing.
I can tell you what helps. Whenever you're building big items or items that have a lot of height to it, use stairs. Stairs will definitely be your friend.
So what got you into WildStar housing in general?
I used to actually do housing in Star Wars Galaxy. I was an architect and I used to make a lot of different custom items for people. I made a big giant bong for a smuggler, and I like it. I just like figuring out stuff. At one point I was going to school for game and simulation programming and I wanted to build worlds and edit levels and do all sorts of stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. That's a good reason to enjoy housing.
I definitely enjoy it, and not only that, I enjoy touring other people's houses. There's a lot of people that have great plots here.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of creativity on Entity alone, like, and some of the stuff that comes out of, like, the EU, and there's a lot of really talented folks.
Oh, I definitely agree, and it's a great community to be a part of. That's almost it for the exterior of the city. As you can see, we're looking at a sign right now. This is called Club Aqua.
Snazzy.
And I'll show you why in a few minutes. Just looking at this house right here, I chose the Granite house, and I chose it for one particular reason. If you look here, it actually has an exterior of graffiti, and I thought that just fit in perfectly with the city.
It does. I was about to ask, where did you get the graffiti?
And that's a part of the house, and nobody uses it because they have no reason for graffiti. But when it's in the city, it's necessary.
Yeah, it's like it's under a bridge and it works. Aw, this carrot has a cupcake! Yay!
Yep, he was fortunate enough to get dinner.
He also has a very nice bed.
And he's doing laundry. Though I don't know where he gets his water from.
Maybe from the club.
Let's check. So this is Club Aqua.
Oh, wow.
And one of the things I wanted to do was give you a grand entrance that as soon as you come in, it's eye-popping.
Yeah.
And to give you a little history on the club, originally it was going to be a casino called Aces. But when I came back to the game after a little hiatus, they had Windows. And I wanted to fully exploit Windows, and that's where I came up with Aqua. And it's just short for, aquarium, basically.
This is so cool.
I tried to give it as much detail as possible, even the sunken ship with a little bit of gold, and you have the fishes everywhere.
Yeah, I love the sunken ship. And the treasure chests, and...
Now, as you can see, we can sit here and wait for our table if we want to get a table. I sub bars and clubs, they have seating.
Oh, did you make a... what is that? It's not a pool table, is it?
No, everybody, just about everybody in housing has a pool table. I myself have a foosball table on one of my plots. I wanted to make a shuffleboard table. I haven't seen that in WildStar. And that's where you have the two color pucks. You have the blue puck and you have the yellow puck. over here you have some more seating. And one of the seats is, I know some people like to sit up against a crab tank, and that's what we have. We have a bunch of crabs climbing over each other, waiting to be eaten, actually.
Oh, clever.
I didn't want to just make two aquariums the same, and I needed to make a second aquarium over the entrance, otherwise it would have just looked bland.
Yeah.
So I decided to add the crab tank.
I like that.
And if you look, there's even a little carrot guy in some type of submarine device trying to get somebody's dinner. And you have another carrot up there holding it open for him. Now I figured no bar would be complete, but no bar or club would be complete without a stage, and this stage can be used for many things. For singing, for dancing, for comedy, but a lot of people automatically see karaoke when they see it.
I love how it looks like a little city behind you.
I wanted to bring every element of the city inside. And the lamppost actually provides a lot of the lighting, but I blended it in with the city. You also see the monorail rail that I have outside.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to give it all the personality of the city that we just left behind. And over here you have the bar, because of course you need a bar. Little lounging area with a hookah, and of course the luxury leather seats. And you can sit there and puff away as you watch the fishes swim by.
Sounds like a good deal.
And you need a bathroom. What restaurant or bar would not need a bathroom? Oh, but this toilet looks out of order though. Now while the superheroes have a bookcase entrance, the supervillains need a toilet entrance.
Nice.
So you enter this room and you look out this window and you see a bunch of mechanized stuff, and I want you to say, what is this?
It's gotta be like a ship or a plane or something.
Well, when you come up here you can find out.
Even better, it's a mech.
Yep, I wanted to fit a mech inside this house. Don't ask me how I did it, it was a lot of cringing, but I was able to get it done.
That's really cool.
And the superhero has to fight this. I wanted to give it a nice viewing angle so that way you can view the mech from all over the place. And like I said, in the beginning of the video, I'm all about views. Now let's go down and see the actual mech itself. Because it's no fun if you can just look at it and you can't actually get in it. Now when you come down, you can notice that you're underneath the aquarium. I kept the theme throughout.
I like that.
And one of the reasons is because in the aquarium, the supervillain that you find will be an aquatic villain.
Huh.
And I took this villain. This villain was actually inspired by the Ninja Turtles cartoon from back in the 80s. His name was Krang, and he used to have like a suit where he was just a brain inside of a suit.
I vaguely remember that.
Well, I'm pretty sure anybody who Googles it can see what Krang looked like and see that that's where the inspiration came from. And he has his tentacle arms, and he's pressing buttons, getting the mech ready for his destruction to the city. But that's why I'm here, to stop him. It's a little tricky to get in here, but if you go underneath and come to the left, you can actually jump up into the mech. And I didn't want the mech to have a perfect view because I wanted it to feel like you were actually driving the thing, and you would see the mechanized parts, and you would have part of the view so that way you can see what you were doing.
This is really cool.
It has everything that a mech could want. Even has medikits in case you get hurt, or a jetpack for escape if you look on the left.
I saw.
And that would be Millennium City in a nutshell.
That's so cool. I like how you have a not only the hero layer but the villain layer too.
In the original city, I didn't have a villain layer. I couldn't fit it, and actually the hero layer was inside of a little speakeasy bar that I had, and you would go behind a bookcase, and you would go behind a aquarium, a little tiny aquarium, and you would go down into the superhero base. So it kept some of the charm for people that know my 300 item limit city. It has the charm where you go behind the aquarium, but this time it's a supervillain lair, and you go behind the bookcase and you see the superhero lair. And it kept the Batmobile because everybody loved the Batmobile.
The Batmobile is awesome. So, do you have any tips or tricks for people that are getting into housing for the first time, or don't know where to begin, or?
Absolutely, I tell this to everybody because everybody, they come, they see the plot, and they're like, wow, and they're like, how can I do that? You know, you're so creative, you're so talented. I tell them that, you know, it doesn't have to be this elaborate. You know, to me, housing is all about having fun, and I think a plot is good and it looks good as long as you had fun doing it. Like I've seen people just do normal houses, but I've seen them done really well because they had fun doing it. And the housing community loves every house. It doesn't have to be, you know, themed like how I have it as a superhero theme. So my advice is to just go out there and have fun. The way I build things and the way I build custom things is I don't look at it as this being a bookshelf. I look at the shape and I say, this is a nice little square, or this is a nice little trapezoid. What can I use this for? And then I use it based off the shape. And then I come up with the items later.
It's very good advice.
And one other important thing, the Adventure Await poster is one of the most versatile items in the game. If you look around, this lair is actually made of the Adventure Awaits poster. If you see we're standing on an Adventure Awaits poster, the walls are made of Adventure Await posters. And I think that they just go with everything.
They do. It's a nice, like, black base.
Yes, and you can put them in any different shape you want, and they blend nicely too. It's not really fuzzy. Oh, and as you can see, the Marauder symbol that we're standing on, so outside we have corrupt cops.
Ha!
And I wanted to add a bunch of Easter eggs to my city like that. So yeah, you know, the advice I give to people is just have fun. You know, I recommend visiting everybody's plots. You'll see a lot of named people in chat, but even, you know, everybody that you just see, just walk up, see their plot, see what they did different, you know, see what you like, and then, you know, create, maybe try to mimic at first, but then create your own stuff. And that's usually what happens in every type of art form. And I think housing is an art form here in WildStar.
I would definitely have to agree that it's an art form in this game. So if folks want to get
What about you? What do you think of the plot?
Sorry.
It's okay. So what do you think about the plot?
I think it's really awesome. I'm one of those people that is housing is not their strong suit, which is why I enjoy going around to people's houses and kind of being like, whoa, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? So, like, I love recording these because I aspire to maybe one day be able to do some stuff like this.
Well, the best advice I can offer you is to go out and do it.
Touché.
As Shia LaBeouf said, just do it.
So if people want to get in
I
contact
into
with
the
you...
video. Well, they can contact me in the game through the Green Ghost and you know, Zams as well. I'm usually on that tune. I'm gonna try and make. I know some people have like Tune Facebook pages, and I've been requested to make that, so I'll probably make a Tune page for that as well.
Awesome.
And I thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming, and I thank you for touring.
Totally. Thank you for taking the time and showing me around, and I love this plot. I'm totally gonna come back to this plot.
My plot is always open for you or anybody else wants to visit. So all you have to do is come to the Green Ghost.
Awesome.
Well, Green Ghost. No duh.